Hey everyone, wherever you are, I'm here in beautiful Lisbon in Portugal. Even the cool people or take the surfboard and just try, and then when they try they have this beginner luck and they catch a wave. And what I wanted to talk with you about today is my theory of illogical thinking. So the illogical theory, I call it illogical because I read this book of Nassim Taleb. He's actually, I think, Lebanese writer, and he's a big economical advisor for the biggest companies, and he also wrote a book called Black Swan. But in the book that I'm talking about, it's called Anti-Fragile. And the first thing is, the name of the theory is anti-fragile because fragile is not the same as anti-fragile. So, for example, if you take a glass and you let it get some damage, let's say you drop it from a few centimeters above the floor. If you drop it one time, nothing gonna happen. If you drop it 10 times, it's gonna get a little bit cracked. If you drop it 100 times from a centimeter above the floor, it can break. It's gonna get damaged and break. So what's the opposite of fragile? Robust. Something that is robust, it can be like wooden mug. Let's say you take a wooden mug, it's very robust. If you're gonna drop it 100 times to the floor, nothing is gonna happen to it, right? Nassim Taleb didn't mean robust when he said anti-fragile. He means something else. He means something that is not fragile. So example for that would be bones. Let's say the human being's bones, if they get a little bit damaged, they can build themselves and become stronger, right? If you know this Muay Thai boxers, how they get stronger, they just pound their bones into things or into other bones, and that's how their bones get stronger. So the same way. And also another thing about that, if you put a lot of damage on these bones, like extreme damage, they would break. So being anti-fragile, it doesn't mean that you're not fragile at all. It just means that you're getting stronger from that. And that's basically what Nassim Taleb theory says, that some systems in life are more complex, and that's why they're anti-fragile, like human beings, like company structures, like economical structures, and just like companies or institutions or stuff like that. And let's take something like rumors. Okay, so rumors, it's like a subjective thing, but rumors are also getting anti-fragile. Why is that? Because let's say you're trying to put out a rumor and you tell everyone, no, don't talk about it, and everyone trying to shush the rumor. What happens? The rumor gets stronger and bigger. So it's another thing that gets stronger from damage. And basically the theory of Nassim Taleb is how chaos and stress can affect positively, can affect in a good way on complex systems like human beings. So the example of a human being is that, let's say you went through a hard time in your life, it made you stronger in some way. So that's really cool book by Nassim Taleb, Anti-Fragile, and the reason that I mention it, because my theory of anti-logic is based on this theory. So if you understand the logic behind this theory, you're gonna understand the logic behind being anti-logic or illogic, like I like to call it. It sounds better, so illogic, who cares? So the illogic theory says like this: human beings and complex systems can benefit from being unlogical. And now, when you say that in today's world, it's really a strong thing, because everyone is going by the research, by science, which is based on mathematics, and basically everyone following the academy. So everyone basically are very logical oriented. And also, for example, I have a lot of friends, if you're gonna ask them their opinion about something, it's gonna be the logical opinion. So we put a lot of emphasis on the intellect in this day and age society. And that's the strong logical that hits everything. And my question in this theory, if it's really the best thing for the system, or for us as a system, or for a human being, is it really being super logical is the best thing? Is being super logical the thing that's gonna help you, like anti-fragile? If you want your bones to get stronger, just like if you're not gonna hit them at all with the floor, it's not gonna make them stronger. So in the same way, if you wanna improve as a system of human being illogical can help you. Okay, are you with me? So now I'm gonna give you all the benefits of being illogical in this video. So the first thing really easy to understand is humor. You wanna be more charismatic, you wanna be more funny. And to be more funny, what do you need? You need illogical. Jokes wouldn't be funny if they were just logical jokes. Like a man walks down in the street and he see a hole, and then he falls to the hole because the hole is 20 centimeters deeper than the actual floor. It's not funny. And the funny thing about humor is the illogical part of life. That's why we love it so much, because it surprises us. Oh, it's illogical. So when you try to be charismatic, you want to use humor, you want to practice this illogical part of you. So it's like the bones. It's like to practice this illogical thing, it's like practicing your bones. You hit them again and again and again on something. So you practicing being illogical again and again and again. It makes you better in that. So how it gives you, we chose charisma as the first thing. It can help you in a lot of other things, but how does it also help you being more charismatic, being illogical? For example, a lot of times when I talk to people, I don't know if it happened to you ever, the conversation gets stale. It gets kind of boring. Both of you are very logical. I heard someone say that in this modern age society we talk 80% of our conversation is just logistical. I think it's from possibility management. So we're just talking logistic. Where have you been today? Oh, really? How many people were there? You had fun in the gym? Well, fun is not a logistical question, but we talk a lot about, okay, where have you been? What did you do? How much time? Who was there? How much time it took you to get there? All this logical conversation is very boring. Now, if you chose to just be a modern culture example of a man or a woman, that's fine. You don't need to even watch this video. And if you want to be more than the modern culture average thing, so hello. Hi. You want to be in the video?
What is that for?
I'll tell you. Are you okay to be in the video?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, hi girls.
Hi.
What's your names?
Mariana. Rita.
I'm Dor. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So this video is about illogical. How being illogical can help you in life. Have you ever thought about it?
No.
So I'm just talking about no. So
honestly, no. But yeah, you can tell us.
I like your purple shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Really cool. Everyone is like dressing in black. You see, everyone is like black, 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 black.
Everyone is really depressed right now. Yeah.
Why is that?
COVID, Corona.
What is that?
COVID-19.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
How do you not know that?
No, I'm just kidding. So, anyways, for example, you know when a conversation gets boring, when someone is talking to you and yeah, today I went to eat this and that, and I met those people and I drove half an hour, and the drive was 10 minutes, and you know how conversation gets boring, right? But when it becomes a little bit illogical, it becomes more interesting. Suddenly, oh, you're sure? And COVID, what is COVID?
Random things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like something like that. What do you think about it? You look like you have something to say. Don't be afraid of the camera, I'm here.
I agree.
Yeah, she has a lot to say. You agree?
What's your
Is it?
favorite thing to do? It's something with swimming.
No.
You like to go to the beach though?
Yes. I live next to the beach.
Yeah, we live next to the
From
beach.
next to the
But what do you like to do in the beach?
swim.
Swim,
Be with
sunbathing.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah,
Chill with friends and.
pretty much it.
E agora diz outra coisa, mas não posso dizer.
What did you say now?
Nothing. She was gonna say something, but yeah,
No,
it's
say that thing that you
Yeah.
didn't say. Say, come on.
No, I can't.
no, she can't. She can't.
Why not? Everyone want to know what's the thing she said now. Because until now it was logical. Yeah, she lives by the beach and that and that.
Ah,
now
that's what
she-
he wants to know. Yeah, don't do it. No, she can't say that.
Okay, so tell me something illogical about yourself. Let's see if you can make it.
I don't know. It might be illogical for me, but not illogical for you.
Go. Let's try. You can't fail. Nobody's gonna watch this video. My channel is really boring.
No.
Nobody's really watching that.
I don't know. Something illogical about me. Something. Algo que seja ilógico sobre mim.
Something that nobody wants to know.
He's always late.
Nobody wants. I want her to say something.
I'm not always late.
Something that nobody care about you. Nobody care about that.
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I'm trying
You
to
have
figure
time.
out
You have time.
something.
It's
I
not a
have to-
test. We're not in school.
Good. I'm trying to figure out something.
Take your time. We're gonna cut all this part until the part.
Yeah. I talk a lot. I talk a lot. I'm a talker. And sometimes I feel like I'm so boring. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm being really boring. And they're like, but I can't stop talking. So yeah, I think that's a random thing about me. That I'm self-conscious. I'm too self-conscious. I think I'm boring people, but they might be like, continue talking. We're just having a normal conversation. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm just being so fucking boring right now. And I continue to, like I'm doing right now. So yeah.
It's amazing.
And my English.
You feel boring when you're talking to people. In your mind, you're boring and you keep talking.
Yeah, when I'm talking, I can't stop sometimes. No, continue. Yeah, I'm a talker.
You're a talker.
Oh, she says it's not boring. Not Corona. Don't put that part.
Girls, you added a lot to my video. You're so cool.
Oh, we're
See,
cool.
even the cool people think that they're boring, so think about it.
Oh, you're being really nice right now. He's really nice.
So other benefits from being illogical. Illogical can improve your mind. It's like a mind exercise. You're thinking hard to come up with illogical things because you're so used to logical, so it's like an exercise for your mind. So also if you're an ambitious person, illogical can help you a lot. For example, when I work in the malls in cosmetics in the States, a lot of time I had to deal with not selling all day. And the only thing that can make you, after a whole day that you spend your time, like 10 hours, not sell anything, you're on zero, you're not getting paid for today, and to get up and do the next sale, it's illogical behavior. You're basically telling yourself, logically it didn't happen, but I'm gonna make it happen somehow. And I started to look at a lot of biographies and stuff like that of like famous actress or movie stars and stuff like that, and they all say it like against all odds. You make it, like I failed in every audition and then I somehow made it. So all of them are basically using illogical to get their ambition into the right place. Another cool example for it is improvisation theater. So in improvisational theater there is this rule saying yes and to everything. So let's say your partner tells you, can you take this shoe and put the soup inside the shoe? You have to say yes and, for example, yes and I'm gonna make it after I'm gonna go to sleep, okay? So the thing about yes and, it helps in improvisational theater to make the scene more interesting, to make the scene more alive for the audience, to make something interesting, because the easiest thing to do in our modern culture is to say no. Because we think sometimes that we argue with something, it looks cool, the argument, but they actually discovered in improvisational theater that the audience don't like all this argument. So if I tell you, can you put the soup inside the shoe? And you say, no, I'm not gonna do it. And then I tell you, yes, please do it. And you're like, no. And I'm like, why not? And you're like, because it's stupid. And I'm like, ah. So this is starting to sound like a modern culture conversation. And it's not pretty on the eyes, so to speak. So a much cooler thing is to say yes and just to invent something. We also use it in possibility management to say yes and. Let's say someone asks you something, can you take out your guitar and play in the street? So instead of being like a no, because I don't want to do it right now, you can say yes and I'll consider doing it one day when I get my confidence. So now you see, the conversation just open up. Getting confidence, maybe you need some confidence, and then something else can happen. So something else is possible than what is possible right now for the person that asked it when he says yes and. And this understanding of the yes and, it required a little bit illogical thinking. So it's logical to say that it helps you in some way, but when you actually in the moment, when you say yes and you need to come up with something now, you need to think about it. And you see, I can say this guy ruined my video, but I can also say this guy was super logical instead of being illogical, and come up with something funny for the video, and maybe then I would buy his glasses that he offered. So once you go illogical, it opens like million other things. Also, it reminds me in possibility management, we call it non-linear thinking. So it's not from one point to the next point, it can go non-linear. Another cool example why illogical theory is beneficial to you is the example of beginner's luck vs beginners, being a beginner. So you know how usually when you go approach something, a lot of people are like, let's say surfing, I don't know how to surf, teach me, and they're like taking the board and they enter the water and they're like shaking. And I don't know what to do, I'm super clumsy. Or if I tell you, for example, try something new, like playing the accordion.
You lie to everybody, it's all lies. You look like a good boy, but he's a criminal. He's a criminal. Nobody believes in this guy. I know perfectly he's a criminal. You see? Ha! Delinquent. Oh, criminal. Oh. Careful.
A perfect example for illogical. And so let's say someone take the accordion and he doesn't even like, I don't know how to play, I'm not gonna even try. And that's like a logical person. And then you have these illogical people that they just take something and do it. Take the accordion and start to play, or take the guitar or whatever, or take the surfboard and just try. And then when they try, they have this beginner luck and they catch a wave, and then they have this positive success experience which changed their whole. They think that surfing is great and fun, and so they keep doing it and they become this professional surfer just because of that one time what they were illogical, and they didn't thought to themselves, I'm a beginner, I don't know how to do it. They just did it. So actually with that you can cheat the system and you can treat everything like you're a professional, and it gives you better results from my experience. For example, I went to do this climbing wall thing. So I just entered the place and I'm like, what's the hardest wall here? I'm gonna do it. I'm the best at that. Just as a joke, and also once you have this mentality of the pro mentality, it's an amazing thing in self-development. It changes this logical mind. So we always try to be logical, and in the logical sense of what they programmed us in school, we're always beginners, or we always knew it's something new that we want to try. We're always not good enough, and that's the part where we're programmed to. And when we try to take things in illogical way, where it can be just, I'm a pro at that, and you can get much better results, so why not doing that? And a few other quick examples. Dropping out of university. A lot of logical people around you tell you, yeah, go to university, study, it's a good idea, and get a profession. I don't know what they say. And actually, if you go to all the YouTube influencers and also really rich people that talk about university today, they're like the top business mentors in the world, or just the top entrepreneurs like Gary Vee and people like that. They tell you that like university is just a failure, it has like huge national debt, it's just a failing system. And so the last illogical example is following a guru. So following a guru is not a logical thing, because you're programmed to think that it's a fucked up thing in so many ways. And also the illogical of following a guru is actually helpful for your life. It gives you benefit, even though it's illogical to do it. So many reasons why it's illogical. But when you try it and you do it, it's actually give you a lot of benefits for your life. It can totally change your life. So that's another example of doing illogical stuff. I gave you a lot of example here to do. I want to give you some experiments. So the first experiment is going to be really hard if you're a very logical person, not so hard if you're not. So stop reading articles, stop believing in articles in like institutions, academy, all this stuff. Take a break from it for a year and try to live your life without saying, but in this article they say that this is healthy or this is not healthy or all this stuff. It's basically stop being right vs wrong. So you're right, something else is wrong because you're more logical than him. It's just dropping that off for a year. Just try to do an experiment and maybe you'll discover that this logical didn't help you so much. So it's not logical to be logical. Another experiment you can do is, if you want to work on the charisma aspect of illogicality, is every conversation you have in the next week, or let's say at least 3 times a week, you insert one thing that is illogical to the conversation. So for example, you're talking with someone and then you say tree of bears, and then the other person is like, tree of bears, what? And then you somehow need to come out of it, somehow to improvise your way out of this. Yeah, tree of bears, it's because or you can just say, I just wanted to practice saying something illogical. But a cool way is just try to get out of it. Yeah, you know, I heard about this tree of bears, it's crazy, and it gave me an idea for a startup now to do it. So go even more illogical than what you started with, but it helps you practice this muscle of illogical thinking, And if you listen to the beginning of this video, like the Nissim Taleb anti-fragile theory, it can make you stronger, this illogical mind. So that's one experiment. Second experiment, and the third experiment.
Está a matar as vistas bonitas crianças.
And the last thing I have for you today is jumping on every opportunity, because every disadvantage together with another disadvantage is an advantage. And
You again? The guy is the criminal again? Like this. He's a criminal, I knew it! I got you! Stop it, stop it. Come chiamaci, come ti chiami?
go.
Where are you from? Don't let it...
Oh. It's my illogical program right here. So yeah, that was just a preview for my next video. It's about how if you take disadvantage and another disadvantage, it can create an advantage. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click on the subscribe button.
Oh, we're already subscribed, so you too.
Ring the bell so you get notification every time a new video comes up. Be logical. See you next time. Bye.